Oh, window.
Wait, let me share
The link.
the link first. Maybe give it a minute or two. How you been?
I am doing pretty good. Much better than I was. How about you?
Yeah, I gotta remember I have first world problems, and then
I mean, this is a first world problem.
not totally.
It's a problem that happened in the first world, so I don't know. But
Okay, sure.
so what's your we're live on pre-show. What's your revelation?
No, I want to build up some viewers. So
Oh,
let
okay.
me
All right.
let me I had another reply queued in my activity. You enjoyed it seemed like a few people enjoyed my Apocalyptico
It's very relevant.
reference, which is a fantastic film.
It
If
really
you haven't
is. I saw it like
watched it
I think like
recently,
2 years ago. It was fantastic. I was surprised at how good it was.
I think the first time you watch it, you don't know exactly what you're expecting, so like you
Yeah,
can't gauge what's happening. And then like maybe the second time you watch it, you're like, oh, this is like the real. This is like one of the greatest like chase films, like cultural
yeah.
films ever made.
It was based.
All right.
Where are these fuckers?
Okay. Now I'm updating my latest post. But yeah, and people like cope. I, maybe you haven't seen this, but like people cope for the sacrificial culture
Yes.
that existed in pre-Columbian America,
Hmm.
but it's totally a thing, and you can go to any museum in any country of like Mexico, Colombia, Peru, whatever, and go through and it's like, oh yeah, this is where they like bound up, like even in Inca culture, like they were doing, oh, we're gonna like bind up this woman and like desiccate her while she's alive
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Just horrific.
Just the scene in Apocalyptico 2 and they're up on top of the pyramid and they're all just getting their hearts cut out.
Dude, I mean, it seems cartoonish
It is, but it's
to us
like
nowadays.
that's
Like we
what.
don't believe that it's possible, but it's just. I mean,
Yeah.
they made their own paintings of it.
Yeah, man.
Like you can go to the pyramids and look at the engravings of this kind of sacrifice occurring and
Hmm.
everything like that. I look forward to talking to Frank about it tomorrow.
Oh, that'll be
Should be fun.
fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, and so I'll be on Frank's show. I guess it would be God, I gotta look at the text. And I gotta wonder if what method we're using for the call, because I was kind of hoping to share pictures and stuff like that with
Hmm.
it too. Because he like texts me out of the blue and he's like, "Do you know anything about the rockets that NASA's launching during the solar eclipse?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I've worked on that project."
Oh,
Um,
you did. So you made the space lasers.
Space lasers, yeah, Jewish space lasers,
Jewish
climate
space lasers.
change,
All right, before we get
Contro.
on to the Jewish space lasers, I'm going to play the intro video real quick because it's getting good. Hello, everyone, if there are any of you out there, and welcome. to episode. What episode are we? 136 of The Altar. Tonight, it's me, Ben, and it's Max. And we're talking about shit. And Max, what were we talking about?
Do you know how men will do literally anything but go to therapy? They'll start smoking cigars.
Yeah,
They will take up a
medieval
dangerous
warfare
sport.
reenactment.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things they'll do is start a podcast, and I think
Yeah,
we're in that phase.
so
Um,
I do actually at the moment have therapy. So I do therapy and a podcast.
wow.
Yeah.
Soon enough, you're going to be Destiny. Are you going to dye your hair blue?
I'm thinking I actually might just go full trans again. I mean, it was about a year this time last year that we attempted that plot line, and I figure it might as well be time to bring it back around.
All right. So I was hinting in the pre-show that we have a revelation.
Hmm.
We've been expecting. It's been in the plans for quite a while now, but now it's finally happened, and I have something to show you.
Oh. Aww.
Dog.
Dog. Boy or girl?
This is a girl.
Okay. What's the name?
We haven't quite narrowed it down totally 100%, but it seems like we're both enjoying Freya at the moment.
Freya. Excellent. I named my truck Freya.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That your white Dodge Ram is named Freya?
No, my black Dodge Ram is named Freya.
Okay. Well, anyways, that I was trying to make it something it was not.
Oh, good.
Obviously, it's a gag. So
So I did have a coworker when I was a 911 dispatcher who had a white Dodge Ram 1500. And you know how they'll do, like, sometimes they'll do different colored trim at the bottom of them? This
yeah,
dude
yeah,
got real tree camo trim.
yeah. I mean, sure. All right.
Oh, that and a can of White Monster, man. Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah. You're in the business right there,
That's pure
right?
Hyperborea.
Did he have the gun rack in the
Um,
back seat with just a Ruger American and a Remington 870 in it?
I think he had the Ruger American for sure. I don't know about the 870.
Oh, okay. So, um, how about them bridges, man?
How about them bridges, man? How about that ship piloted by that crew that may or may not happen to be from the Do Not Redeem country?
So, okay, I'm confused because you see shit on Twitter and people. Here's the thing: anybody can just post anything
Yeah.
and say anything, and they could be verified and it could look legit. But it's like you could just be saying something. So,
Mm.
like, is there real data on like who the crew of this ship was?
All I have seen are posts. Nothing concrete.
Okay.
I think there's been some like articles talking about how like 4chan and like everybody on the internet was making fun of the Indian crew. But like I can't remember them going actually like yeah, they were for sure or not like Indian or not. But it's funny to think about.
Well, no, but it's not uncommon is
It's
the
not.
thing. If you look at the majority nationality, um, what the cruise ships are,
Hmm.
or the cargo ships are, sorry. Um, okay, here's an article from the Washington Post. Oh, well, here we go. Who are the people still on the ship? There are 21 sailors on the Dolly. 20 are from India and one is from Sri Lanka.
Oh, well clearly it's that dude from Sri Lanka to blame.
The two pilots have left the ship. Where were the pilots from? I wonder.
Germany.
There's no mention of it. Anyways, it's
Interesting.
very interesting. Yes, that's
Max,
the
I
word
was
for it.
actually going to say, like, I know you've made a post on Tumblr about this, but this, I think, really just plays in the larger competency crisis we're beginning to experience here in the West and globally in general.
Yeah, you don't even don't it doesn't have to be like a nationality thing, right?
I mean, it's
Because like
it's it's
there's
funnier
plenty
if
of
it
in
is.
maybe, but like you could go to your average high school
Mhm.
in most major cities and get a crew that's about as competent as this one was. And like people are saying that like oh they saved lives by immediately radioing to close the bridge. But like when they regained power, the one thing they did was drop anchor astern, which immediately like pulled the ship to port
Oops.
and like sent it into the bridge. If they had just coasted, they would have been fine.
Ugh.
Like if you watch the video, and it's like a slow motion disaster too, and you're just like, I mean, people most people don't know a lot about sailing, right? But like sailing is it's like ice skating. There's a
Yeah.
lot of momentum involved, and when you're coast like just like you have momentum, you don't like change momentum without an external force, and you're in a narrow channel of a river entering the sea, which has a persistent current that is out. And you've got a huge cargo container ship that weighs as much as a skyscraper,
Hmm.
and its momentum is very difficult to change. And they go ahead and just drop anchor, trying to slow the ship down because they're worried about a collision. The
Well,
the anchor literally it's not enough distance to stop you. It's just enough distance to change your uh
direction.
your angle, your direction so that you collide directly with the thing.
Now,
So I completely chalk it up to just stupidity.
yeah, I was
Um
also gonna say, like, aren't ships that large when they're in port like that? Aren't they supposed to have like tugboats or some shit like guiding them out of the harbor so they don't hit shit? Or is that not?
that is I thought supposed to be a thing,
Yeah.
but apparently we can't afford that anymore.
Did you also
This
see how with the bridge collapse, two like naval supply ships that are responsible for resupplying like most of the Atlantic fleet are also trapped in the harbor?
Well, I thought they were like aid ships for like Gaza and stuff like that.
Possibly, but they're like,
What?
let me look it up.
Let me look this up. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jamie, I'll pull that up.
Baltimore Harbor. Um, so there's 11 ships stuck behind the bridge.
Mhm.
Um, four ships are the SS Antares. Oh, don't make me sign in, you stupid Baltimore Sun. I'm gonna pay $5 to read shitty Baltimore news. Um,
They need that $5, man.
okay, so the list does not include tugboats, sailboats, and private yachts that are in hold
Oh,
pattern
okay.
of the Baltimore. So that
Specific.
makes sense because like there would be a lot of like private ships in there.
So hopefully
Um,
this one doesn't like try to make me buy anything, but this is from the Australian.com. Four U.S. military cargo ships on standby for war are among the vessels trapped in Baltimore as concerns grow about the effect of the bridge collapse on the local economy and global supply chains.
I mean, am I not mistaken that Baltimore is like basically the largest port on the East
It's
Coast?
if it's not the largest, it's definitely one of the largest. Like I've driven through it a couple of times. It's fucking
Yeah,
huge. Also,
yeah. I mean,
that
what
bridge
the other
specific
ones are like Boston and
New
I guess
York,
New York.
yeah, but like the other thing too is like that bridge specifically, the Francis Scott Key Bridge, they built that specifically for trucks to transport like hazardous materials over the bridge because the only other way at that point to get across the river was to take a tunnel, but they didn't want people transporting like like dangerous chemicals or explosives or shit through the tunnel because that's a bad time. But
Hmm.
now all of that shit literally just has to go around the city because it's either can't go through the tunnels or like the permits you need to go through the tunnels are so prohibitively expensive it's just cheaper to drive around the city.
Yeah, I mean, we have very similar things here in the mountains in our
Mm-hmm.
tunnels,
Mm-hmm.
especially like the Eisenhower and Johnson tunnels on I-70. If people aren't aware, so there's the I-70 cuts through Colorado, goes through Utah, goes to Vegas, I think, right?
It
And
does, yeah.
then down to not LA maybe, or
That
because
kind
I-80
of
goes to San
area ish.
Francisco. Yeah. So, anyways, I-70 is like one of the biggest interstates, and it passes directly under the mountains of well, it's Loveland Pass, and the Eisenhower and Johnson tunnels. They do a systematic closure to allow hazardous materials through. So even if it's just a gas tanker, they have to close the entire tunnel to
Yeah.
let that set of trucks through. They'll hold them until they have a good batch and then send them through. But especially when there's like a blizzard or something, and you
Hmm.
can't. Normally, they get directed over the mountain pass. It's like
But with a
oh,
blizzard, that's not really like a great idea.
no,
So
it's
yeah.
yeah, no, it's not possible. Yeah, it's not a good idea. It's not possible for heavy loads for the truckers to go
Hmm.
over this. It's literally a 12,000 foot pass,
Yeah.
um, and so they redirect them through the tunnel and they'll do a holding pattern. But like it's one of the longest tunnels, if not the longest, in the U.S. Eisenhower Tunnel. Let me look up. Eisenhower Tunnel is a vital connection to move goods from the eastern slope of the Rockies to the western slope. Is the result of 50 years of discussion, planning, design, and construction, with the opening in 1973. Located 60 miles west of Denver on I-70, it traverses the Continental Divide at an elevation of 11,000 feet. When it was opened, it was the highest vehicular tunnel in the U.S., but it also the highest in the world. Since then, higher tunnels have been built across the globe. I'm going to guess in
China,
Switzerland,
Switzerland. Yeah.
maybe not Botswana or something like that. The okay, they're talking about the counties, the dimensions. The tunnel itself is 1.73 miles long. Um, yeah, so it's one of these absolutely huge industrial projects that I'm at least familiar with here in the West. We don't have ports and shit like that. We have the highways and the trains and shit. Um, but oh God, when's the last time I was in fucking Baltimore? I was in DC. Did we go to Baltimore? I don't think we went to Baltimore.
I mean, it's close enough.
I'm yeah, I was in DC before, and I've been on the peninsula east of Baltimore, but that's like totally a different country than Baltimore itself. So, um, anyways, the infrastructure out east is just, I mean, I'm not going to downplay the Eisenhower Tunnel or whatever, but like the bridges, there's a lot of bridges because you guys got a lot of water out
Hmm.
east.
Yeah.
And I say you guys as though you're still out there. If it
No,
was you
there
ever, I'd be
are
one thing.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, there are a couple of bridges that are also just like that bridge that go over like, especially if you're driving I-95. It is that goes like north south between like you drive like New York to all the way down to Florida. There's at least one or two of those bridges like in like the Jersey, Baltimore, just that area. And I remember driving over it. I always used to freak the fuck out because of how high it is. Like it's one of those bridges where you're just like, all right, I'm just gonna go a little faster and not look over the edge, and it'll be all be over in a minute.
How okay, Utah's a little different because like your mountains are like really like the highways only go up the canyons.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But like we have like mountain pass roads in Colorado and Wyoming that like are put you the fuck up there, and
yeah.
you're like looking over a mountain pass that like it's several thousand feet down.
There are a couple of like roads around here like that. Like there's near me, there's American Fork Canyon, and there is a road where you basically like it's kind of just like you just start going up and up and up like this, and you're fucking up there, and you can
Mhm,
use that to go like there's a way to get up over basically what's Mount Timpanogos or like that area, and just
mhm.
come out the other side over to like the Heber City, Park City, kind of like right in the middle of there, but it's usually closed from like
Well, it's a winter closure, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's usually like September or October to man, probably like May actually. It's like June,
Yeah.
July, August is like it.
Yeah, no, and I mean Colorado is just full of roads like that. I wish we would have more like so my mom just got the opportunity this year to go ski in Austria,
Mm.
and her remarkable observation was that almost all the mountain roads are covered there. And if they're not covered, it's just out actually just a tunnel. But like literally their outdoor road is like a covered road with
Interesting.
I don't know if it's glass or some kind of plastic transparent stuff, but it like the avalanches just aren't a problem because they just go over the road and
Wow.
stuff like that, and they don't have to plow it and anything like that. But it's just tens or hundreds of miles of plow of covered road
Wow.
in the mountains, and it's like it. If you look at a map of most of the western states, I know we're sparsely populated
Mm.
in like Utah, Colorado, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, etc. Like it is sparse country. Like we're combined, we probably have the population of like Switzerland and Austria, right?
Probably. Yeah.
Um, but like if you look at the mountains, like there's really if you're trying to get from Denver to Salt Lake City, which are two cities of like 2 million people each, right?
Yeah.
There's two roads to get there, three maybe. You could take I-80, you can take US 40, or you can take I-70, and that's it. Those are the three roads between these 2 million population cities. When it's the vertical or actually the latitude and the longitude between the two, like you could put a road anywhere. And if we had the infrastructure, if our taxes actually went towards roads, right?
Of course they don't.
Like, which they don't. But if our taxes actually went through roads, there should be like 16, 20 tunnels along each of these mountain ranges that people could drive through, and it wouldn't be a clusterfuck every single weekend for people to go ski or go
God.
hike or something
Yeah.
like that.
I-70 especially, like I drive that a little bit because it goes through like southeastern Utah, so like it goes through Price and Moab, and like
Mm-hmm.
one tractor trailer can fuck your whole day up, man. Especially when it comes to like from a double to a single lane. You
Yes.
just got miles of just some like fucking some dude just doing 35 miles an hour, and you're just like, oh, well, at least I get to appreciate the scenery as it takes me an hour to get to where I was going. That was only going to take me 15 minutes, but that's okay.
No, it's like you. I'm trying to think of like the film that would describe it, where they have like the um what's like iRobot, where like there's the tunnels with like the maglev cars like zoom in at 100 miles an hour. That's what infrastructure in the Swiss or like the Alps is,
Yeah.
Switzerland, Austria, Italy, and everything like that. They've just got tunnels and roads everywhere, and there's nothing that stops us from doing that here. And so getting on that point is like, what did they say the expected rebuild time is going to be for this bridge?
I don't even think they have one yet. Like they're still just trying to get a grasp on like what exactly they need to do because like there's just so much shit now just at the bottom of the river. They're just like, oh my fucking god. It would not surprise me if they wind up just leaving most of the bridge in the river. Like they just clear out what they need to get the shipping lanes going, and then like the rest of the removal is just like it's like a Greenpeace thing. Like they kind of do it, but they also kind of don't, and it just goes on forever, little by little.
Well, dude, why can some divers go and just um cut the suspension over time? It'd take a few months of having like that. But do we even have those people anymore? That's a great question.
That's
Like,
yeah,
is there that core in the Navy of like undersea divers who like know how to do like cutting and everything like that, who can do this kind of like operation
who
and would
knows?
be able to do it in like a few months normally. But like all those dudes got like kicked out from vax requirements and like
Yeah,
um political correctness requirements, or like aged out, and like the recruitment is just like people who are way like they're just not on that level where they're going to be able to like dive for 8 hours
like
and
barely
like
passing the ASVAB. Which is very hard to
So
fail.
the AP is saying that the rebuilding the bridge could take anywhere from 18 months to several years, and the cost could be 400 million or twice that.
So
And
they have no
if
idea.
you, they have no idea. 18 months seems, I mean, it that would seem like long to me if like I was hiring a company that knew actually how to do this kind of infrastructure project, but we don't have that anymore,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. We have DEI
Like
companies.
part of people are saying like the California train project is
Hmm.
just like a result of like people embezzling the money.
Oh yeah, it's a slush fund.
But I
That's the
genuinely
whole
think
point.
like there's not an American company who knows how to actually do this. And there's this classic article where they were consulting with the French high speed rail uh company,
Hmm.
and in the period of time that the permitting and the consultations and the environmental impact and all this crap was going on, that the same company built high speed rail across the entirety of Morocco, like north to south.
Excellent.
And they were like, we can't work with California. It literally it's more politically dysfunctional than Morocco.
Hmm.
Which is saying a lot because like maybe we in the West have like this conception of Morocco as like a semi-Western Islamic majority democracy or something like that, but it's really just like a very dysfunctional place. Like, but on a technical level, like the inner cities of Sacramento and Bakersfield and like
Oakland.
Los Angeles are Oakland are worse
Yeah.
in a lot of places in Morocco, which has like a GDP like of several thousand per person instead of like 50, which is what California's got.
Hmm.
Um, so let me check the comments here.
We've got a
Hi
few
Freya
people in
says
there.
JC. Freya says hi back. Jet Gelada says yo, almost forgot. Balmer on hard times right now needs you to subscribe. Okay.
Oh,
What does that mean,
what's
Death
Balmer?
Chelada?
I don't know what Balmer
Yeah.
is.
Balmer on hard times right now needs you to subscribe. Christia, Jung Manson says. JC says, hi, Death Chelada. Hi, Jung Mason. Jung Mason says Christian raptures believers are freaking out about this eclipse.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah, yeah. Young Mason says, hello, JC. Do you guys think this is a false flag or the result of cultural enrichment?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
The cultural enrichment is most to blame for this, but the cultural enrichment is also a false flag. Everything is a false flag.
um, when I think of Tangiers, I imagine like the bazaar in the first Indiana Jones movie. Yeah.
Just that dude with the sword.
Like, or like just 1,000 like sweaty salesmen
Mm,
who just won't leave you alone as you're just trying to walk across the market.
yeah.
Um, Death Chalaz says that's how locals say Baltimore, allegedly. It's like the Aaron earned an iron earn. Earn an iron.
That's how
Have you seen
locals
that?
say Baltimore. Jesus.
Have you seen the Aaron earned an iron earn
No, I haven't.
video?
Aaron earned
Oh my
iron.
goodness. Oh no, 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 no. Okay. We gotta find this.
Oh no. Jamie, pull that up.
Baltimore accent. Aaron. Hopefully I find it pretty quick. I think this is it. Let me share screen.
I said, Baltimore accents say this phrase out loud. Earn, and earn. Hold on, earn. Aaron, earn, and iron, earn. Damn, what the fuck? We really talk like that?
Okay. Um. Thank you, Death Gelada, for
Thank
reminding
you,
me.
Death Shalada, for that.
Hawking Ottoman rugs, says Young Mason. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll like if you walk into a store just like browsing, they'll like lock you in until you like buy something.
Oh wow.
And so my mom went through Istanbul, Constantinople, really, on her way into Russia on a trip, and so she was exploring the rug markets there, and like she still to this day gets calls from like the rug store people that, and it's been like
Amazing.
when was the Sochi Olympics? It was 2017 or something like that.
2016, I think, actually.
2016. Yeah, Sochi. Um,
Oh, are the Olympics this year?
it's an even year, right?
Yeah,
So
June
yeah, it's
2024.
Paris, isn't it?
Oh, that's right. Okay. Oh boy. All right.
So the Christian world cannot comprehend that level of hustle. That's true.
That's
Like
true. Yeah.
they're out there they got to feed their kids, right? You know,
That
it's all,
reminds me,
I
I
get it.
don't remember what it was from, but it was like a bunch of dudes like in a rug shop somewhere, I think in Afghanistan. And it was like a rug of like 9/11, like the planes hitting the towers.
I would legitimately buy that. That'd be hilarious.
I would too. I would totally buy that. And the guy actually wanted to. And like the guys in the shop were laughing so fucking hard that they were interested in the rug.
Or the one that's like it's like it got an RPG on it and an AK.
Yeah,
Those would be awesome.
that
I'd
would be
love that.
awesome. And it's authentic. You're buying it from like local craftsmen, not some fucking Chinese sweatshop.
No,
Like,
no, yeah, they're making it in their like
their
house,
huts.
like
Yeah.
on the loom of this
Hmm.
Afghan rug, and it's like beautiful quality stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
Um, it's just like yeah, they will hustle the shit out of you
Hmm.
and basically kidnap you to make you buy it if you're like on the fence about something. So like be sure before you enter a confined space.
Exactly.
Um,
And know your exits.
uh so wait, what else were we thinking about
Oh,
this
let's
week?
see.
Oh, the
The
eclipse.
eclipse.
There's the bridge. There's
The
one of the
eclipse,
healthy I
you're gonna
talked
go
about.
and like in addition, like at the same time as the eclipse, NASA's launching rockets that you worked on, so you know what the alien reptile plans are, which I find interesting. And there's also that like the Devil's Comet is supposed to be passing over like right before the eclipse or some shit. So like, and it was just Easter and Passover is soon, so the world's over. Like,
Okay, I don't subscribe to astrology, right? But I've had incredibly bad luck recently. Like I said, first world problems compared
yeah,
to most people. Um, but my like I've been keep talking about my mom. My mom broke her leg
ooh, not funny.
last
Sorry.
week. You can kind of laugh. She did it to herself.
All right, fine.
She's skiing. Um, she'll get better. She'll be fine.
Hmm.
My mom broke her leg. She had to put her dog down the same
Oh,
week. Yeah, that one's. I mean, it was a 17-year-old dog.
well,
So.
I mean, I can kind of vouch for that. I mean, we all know what happened with my life recently, and I also had to put a shitload of money into my truck, and
So that's the other thing that happened to me. I took my car to the tune shop and they blew my fucking engine.
they
So,
blew your engine.
well, I don't know. So it might just be the turbo blew.
Okay, still not great.
Still not great because I just replaced it, right?
Yeah.
Like less
So it
than.
like it blew up in their shop, or you took it there, and then when you drove it out, it blew up.
No, it blew up on the dyno.
Oh, good. Like, does that mean it's their fault?
No, it
Oh,
doesn't.
fuck. God damn it. Awful. All right.
FYI, and I should have talked to racist Max about this, because he knows car stuff. But apparently, it's an assumed risk of doing a dyno appointment is
Ah,
that your car could blow up and have catastrophic failure.
oh my god.
Um, the car runs, but like in limp mode.
Ugh.
So it's not like I don't think the engine's a
Yeah, I'm
catastrophic
about to say
failure.
if it was the engine, you wouldn't go anywhere with it, but like it just not having the turbo would make it go into limp mode.
Yep, that's where I think it is.
Okay. Ugh.
So
Eh.
that happens, but at least I got a new puppy, so
That's
that's
true.
great.
Yeah. I got a gold tooth. I mean, I did have to crack a tooth, but I also got a gold tooth, so like
Oh man,
give and take
which
there.
show it off. Which one? Back, like right molar.
Ah,
Which one?
uh-huh.
Yeah. It's a little grainy. I can't see the shimmer.
Hang on.
Can you put a flashlight in your mouth?
Yeah, let me just light my
Is
muskie
it
up here.
gold? Gold?
It's gold. It's 14 karat.
Yeah, good for you. The artificial fillings aren't worth it, man. Just get
That's
gold.
way too bright. Holy shit. I just have the power of the sun in my mouth. All right, I don't. This is gonna. Huh?
Okay, I can just barely see that golden glint
Okay.
in the back of
I will
your molar.
message you a picture, but that's gonna have
No,
to do
you don't
for
have
everybody.
to. It's
Nope.
fine.
I'm showing
But
you.
don't-
I am sending you a whole picture. Deal with it.
But seriously, get gold fillings. Gold's good for you.
It is. No,
It is.
it's antibacterial too, which is another
Yep.
reason, and it's never going to chip again. Like it's not
Yep.
happening.
hmm So wait, you chipped it? It wasn't like a cavity or something?
No, I cracked it on a fucking poppy. No, so I wasn't a poppy seed. Fucking. So the dentist too was like, well, there was probably already something started there for that to do that. I'm like, you're probably right, but I was having a fucking bagel, an everything bagel, and I just came down at the right angle and cracked the back like quarter of my
Listen,
teeth.
cracking your tooth is an assumed risk of eating an everything.
Listen,
bagel.
god damn it, yeah,
Everything is included.
but thankfully I had fantastic dental insurance, so it only cost me
Nice.
like total $400.
That's not bad for a crown,
It's
right?
really not for like a solid 14 karat crown. It's I'm very happy with it.
Yes.
But I did
Yeah,
of
that's
course have
good.
to crack a fucking tooth first, which sucked.
I mean, what was the pain level on that?
So it wasn't that bad. But like the temporary crown I had was fucking killing me because like I thought I had to get a root canal at one point because there was like this little corner of it because the way it broke, like it also broke kind of down into my gum line in the back. So the temp crown went down there, but like there was this little ridge, and like I went to an oral surgeon, and he's like, "Yeah, you don't need a root canal. Your temporary crown is just it's stabbing your gums. Like your gums are wicked bleedy, dude." And I'm just like, wicked bleedy. Okay, all right. Well, that's good to know.
Did
I
he
don't need it.
legitimately say that?
He said that, dude. Here's the thing. He kind of like he had like a long beard.
How
and
old
real-
is this oral surgeon?
Probably in like his 40s or 50s, but he had like long hair and a long beard. Like he was the hippie college student who still got the degree and the job. But I was thrilled with it because he went in, he looked, he did scans, and he's like, "Yeah, man, you're fine. Like there's plenty of tooth left here. You're good. It's just they got to shave this crown down again."
Wait, how long is this beard being an oral surgeon? Because I'd be
It
worried
was
about it like getting in my mouth while I'm knocked out.
Like it was probably like a little longer than mine, but it was very well kept.
Okay,
But
that's
his
that's
hair,
not bad.
like if his
He's
hair
not like
wasn't
a fucking ZZ Top
no,
guy or
no,
something like that.
but like his hair was long. It was probably like down to the bottom of his shoulder blades. So
Respect. Okay.
word, yeah.
Nice. So you got stoner hippie oral surgeon gave
Yeah,
you
he's
this
like-
gold crown
He's just,
and
yeah, it's
shaved your
wicked bleedy,
tooth.
bro. Like I was trying, I if it wasn't for the fact that I had literally found out about my friend dying like 5 days previous, I probably would have laughed harder. But I was just kind of like, huh, thanks.
Some people like there's just people out there living and like you can't like the Hollywood writers or television show writers out in New York or whatever, they don't encounter these people,
Yeah,
and they couldn't conceive of the hippie
the urbanite mind
oral
cannot
surgeon.
conceive of this.
They're such such a variety of humans out
And
there.
the other good thing too about it too is like given the area I went to, like it's Lehi, Utah. He's probably also still LDS to some degree. So,
Oh, you're kidding.
no,
I
I'm
thought
not kidding at all, man. Like,
I thought they ditched like the long hair thing back in the 1800s.
not
Like I thought they were
necessarily.
pretty straight
Not
laced.
like some dudes still do it. Like it's around. The
Okay.
kind of like bohemian style has become very much in with like the Utah youth, and sometimes it looks good, other times it's just no.
Well,
Like
I
you need to
I
not.
know there's a lot of young people moving to Salt Lake. Like I have several friends that have moved to SLC recently,
Mm,
and obviously they have nothing to do with like LDS or
mm,
whatever. And they're just, but like, yeah, that bohemian thing. But it's just like the millennial
yeah.
sort of, and I'm just like some generic fucking white millennial dude that's
Right,
30 years
but
old
like
and drinks IPA and has long hair.
the style specifically, especially like the zoomies, is to kind of look like a dude who like in the 80s would hang out at bathhouses and like cruise and like would not tell people that he had AIDS. Like
What does that mean?
it means it's
What
just
does
that
that
kind of
mean?
skeevy looking look, like the fucking mullet and like the shitty porn stash and just
Oh yeah,
that.
if you got a mullet, you got to shave that shit. Come on.
I was getting my hair cut today and like I had two people getting
Or,
mullets
or,
done.
or sorry, I'm thinking of skullets. If
Skullets.
a mullet, if you've got a full front, like that's cool. Kind of, maybe
No, they were
it can be a
skullets. We
thing.
had two double skullets going on, and both of them were like the first. There was a woman. She was definitely like she was a foo, like for real. Like she had like shorts with like high ass crew socks and slides and like a fitted cap, but she had like a skullet mullet. I'm just like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then like the next dude, like also just like wanted to say like he's like I kind of style it in the mullet, but I do like short on top. And the barber was just like, okay, we can do that. And I'm just watching this from the next chair, like, oh, okay.
See, my hairstyle is I'm cheap and I don't like to spend money going to the barber. Like that's where
Yeah.
I'm at.
My hairstyle is very corporate. Like, I'm not going to lie. I look like I belong either like in
But
sales
that
or
beard is not corporate at all.
not
Let's be
really.
real.
But I mean, it's well kept, so it passes.
No, no, yeah, you shave like any parts that might be a little thinner than other parts. It's very even. You got the chin strap thing. I don't know. It probably appeals very well to different demos, but then I don't know. You're in the position you don't really have to care about the dress code as much.
No, I
So
don't, thankfully. Like, I kind of do a little bit, but as
I
long as they don't
see
look
that's
retarded.
just where I'm at is like I like nominally there isn't actually a dress code. Like nobody ever actually told me there's a dress code. But so like I'm just like, well, there was a hilarious email which is like, oh, it's okay to wear jeans on Fridays, guys. And I'm like, I wear jeans every day of the fucking week. What are you talking about?
They actually just said the shops and all of my stores can now wear jeans when they work, and like they're all super thrilled about it. So
you
I'm
know,
happy for them.
I have to say, if I'm dropping a few $1,000s, I don't think you should wear jeans if you're a salesperson for me.
Really?
I should wear slacks. Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. Like you should look not like a slob.
Well, not that you look like a slob wearing jeans or anything. It's just jeans are a blue collar thing, right? It's like
Fair
you
enough. Fair enough.
you're working and you're gonna get dirty or something like that, and you anticipate washing these or needing to do or they might get roughed up, right? Or
Mhm.
something like that. Whereas it's like I'm in a refined place and I want to buy something that costs a lot of money, and I I hate to say it, like long nails on a woman indicates that like she doesn't do manual labor or something like that.
Mhm.
Like a salesperson who's doing like if you're buying a car, cars also without cost more than jewelry most people buy, right?
Usually.
And the salespeople don't typically wear jeans. They typically wear slacks and stuff like that. because it's an indication. It's like, oh, I don't work on the cars. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
is the status symbol. I don't know if that's a cultural
I
holdover
mean,
that's like antiquated.
you have something there because like the dress code at my job usually is like a suit jacket and just you don't have to wear a tie. You can. I will wear a tie sometimes, but like I wear a suit
I
every day essentially, and that's just as a salesperson, also as a manager, that's just what they expect from you. So that's like
Well, if it's a sports jacket, I won't wear a tie. But generally, if it's a suit jacket, I'll just wear a tie because it just looks cleaner. You the main rule I've always learned is you can never overdress for an event.
this is true. This is true.
Like, I mean, people might think it's a little strange that you wear a black suit
But you
to
just got that
an
shit on,
event.
and they're just jealous because you got that shit on. Like
Well, yeah, it's just like
for real,
nobody will
bros.
say you look bad wearing your black tie suit
With your
or
top hat and
whatever.
your cane.
It's just strange that you wore it to that,
Yeah,
right?
but also you're balling. You're like stunting on them. So
hmm
they
Um,
just hating.
young Mason says, "Are you smoking a particular strain, Ben?"
Um, I'm smoking that Gaza parking lot. That's what I'm smoking. That blue phosphorus. That flaming Netanyahu. That's what I'm smoking.
That's Shalana said he's smoking the Tel Aviv Tomahawk.
Yep, the Tel Aviv Tomahawk, the Jerusalem J Dam, the Hellfire of Hezbollah. Sorry, Hamas. Hellfire of Hamas.
Uh, makes me. Should we? What if we could invite Frank on right now?
Ooh, let's see if he's available. How do we do this?
I don't know because his Discord server is like dead right now, but he just texted me.
What did he say?
He's said he's looking forward to tomorrow.
Tell him to
Um,
hop on Discord. We're doing a podcast. Like if he wants.
sorry, hold my breath while I'm typing. They it's legitimately a thing where I like sit there and like when I work when both me and my girlfriend are like working from home, like I'll sit there and I'll start typing up like some email or something like that, and I get so focused. I'm like a dolphin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I legitimately forget to breathe, and then I'll finish a sentence and be
Come
like,
up for air.
um, Mossad Moab says that's Charlotta. Nice,
Ooh,
nice,
Mossad
nice, nice.
Moab.
Let's see if there's any other good memes we can fill recently. Oh, or did you have any good Tumblr discourse in the last couple weeks here?
Not really. Like to be fair, I was on vacation last week and I wasn't tumbling as much because I was really just busy drinking and eating seafood, which takes a
Yeah, how was
lot.
Florida? That
That
was
was it
yeah,
was it was
looked
pretty
awesome.
it was pretty good. So I went to Sanibel Island. It got wrecked by a hurricane a year and a half ago. So there's a
Right, right.
lot of bugs on the island, which is mostly avoidable, but there's these little things called no-see-ums. And there was just one night where we tried to go to the beach and there really wasn't much of a breeze and we did not put bug spray on. And my sister and I'm guessing we both have similar blood,
hmm
got like chewed up. So like this arm, like both my legs, I looked like I had like a pox for most of the time there. But I didn't really care because it wasn't that itchy. And again, I was inebriated for most of it and just eating every day. So it was great.
Can't complain, man.
Spent a lot of time just at the beach. It was nice. Nice seeing my family again. I definitely needed a break after everything and also just working the holidays. Like, I hadn't taken any time off after that, and I was definitely still just a little fucking toasted from that. So that was good.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I've been
So
pretty discourse free.
Discourse
thankfully.
free.
Yeah.
I feel like so I can't at liberty use my like real name and face to comment on Twitter,
Mm,
or I'll probably lose my job.
mm.
But like I do screen caps from Twitter on Tumblr, and they seem to do really well. You
Yeah,
know what
they
I
do.
mean?
Hmm.
And
I
so
like to steal memes from Instagram and post them onto Tumblr, and they do well. And I'll steal Tumblr memes and post them on Instagram, and they also do well. So,
but I mean, my individual diatribe about the bridge collapse. So bridge collapses,
mhm.
train derailment, planes disassembling midair, cargo ships collisions, power line fires. Many attribute our collapsing infrastructure to the conspiracy of the elite to sabotage our economic independence. I think we see an acceleration of the competency crisis, which is what we were talking about initially.
Exactly.
It's not that they don't want to sabotage our infrastructure. It's just not like deliberately planned what
Hmm.
infrastructures they're going to sabotage. It's just
So
like
I did
you
post
just
that on my Instagram, and it did very well. Like several
oh
of my
yeah.
friends
I
like
actually I
screen
saw it
capped
on your
it.
story.
Yeah, several
Yeah.
people like screen captured it and shared it on their own stuff, so it probably got passed around even more from that.
And I wonder how much like the second part like resonated with people, which is a lot of people live in insulated bubbles of intellectual ability. Most of people you live and meet with on a daily basis are around your level of giftedness. Occasionally, though, you go somewhere you don't normally, and you drop into a convenience store, a fast food joint on a road trip, and realize that for some people, making change from a $20 bill is their personal Apollo program.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Uh,
And then I closed on 100 years of dysgenic welfare subsidies to the economically unviable is the result. We will be living in an idiocracy.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
you can't. Yeah, there's this whole like Nazi connotation that goes with libertarians, whereas like we're just saying stop subsidizing people who don't really have a chance or are just bringing in um, a negative amount of consumption relative to the production that they can do.
I'm gonna screen share
Right.
something in a second here.
I'm putting all of Elon's new e-girl shitcoin, says
E-girl
JC.
shitcoin. All right, here we go.
Right. Kick ass. Don't want to sound like a dick or nothing, but it says on your chart that you're fucked up. You talk like a fag, and your shit's all retarded. What I do is just like you know, you know what I mean? Like,
That's the future. That's the future right there.
Talk like a fag and your shit's all
Your
retarded.
shit's all retarded. I just
Yeah, it's too much. I mean, you really have to like the beginning of that film is just the perfect encapsulation
Mm.
of what is going on currently, right? Where you get people who just can't get their shit together are just wantonly reproducing.
reproducing. Yeah. And like the couple that like has their shit together has no children.
Well, the economy's not right.
The economy's not right. I'll put my eggs on ice.
Yeah, Frank finished up a few minutes ago, I think. I don't know. Did he text us back?
Summoning Frank.
Summoning Frank. I don't know. It's okay.
Okay, fine.
No, I'll be on tomorrow. We can plug it then. It's
Okay.
okay.
We should
Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
another.
We're gonna talk about eclipse stuff mostly, but so, do you want to shit talk eclipse stuff right now? What's the word in your neck of the woods?
So
Right now
we're gonna.
about
I think we're
eclipse?
getting 40% coverage, so it's like we're gonna kind of see it maybe, but like with the weather we've been having recently, like today and yesterday was nice, but we're getting more like rain and clouds, so it'll probably just not really be visible that much for us, and I don't, it's whatever. I saw the last one that was like, was it last year or like the year before?
Well, yeah, there's an annular eclipse
Okay.
last year, October 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I saw that one. I had like almost 100% coverage for that here in Utah. Like we were really close to the epicenter where I was. So I
Hmm.
think I was at like 95%. I saw. It was
Yeah,
pretty
and
cool.
and for an annular, it's not as though even if you were in complete like coverage, it's only 99%. So it's cool to get the ring of fire is what we
Mhm.
call it. But you don't necessarily get to see like the corona and cool shit like that. You
Fair
can't take off
enough.
your eclipse glasses or your welding helmet or whatever you're using
I mean,
to look
Trump
at the
takes his
eclipse.
glasses off. It's okay.
He's just built different,
This is true. Yeah.
people people say how do you do it, and he's just incredible, right?
He's just like, like I just like yeah.
But yeah, we're so like for us, I think this go around like each of like Utah, Wyoming, 40 to 60% or whatever.
Mhm.
But like the main coverage is coming through like Mazatlan, Mexico, West Coast, excuse me, um, up through San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, and then southern Missouri, Idaho, or Illinois, sorry,
Mhm.
Indiana, and then over a little bit of the Great Lakes, so like Buffalo and Rochester.
Yeah.
And in a cruel twist of fate, like the cloud forecast for Monday
Is like
is
right
that
along that line completely.
completely along that line.
Yeah.
And ironically, like Rochester and like upstate Maine is going to be clear skies
Wow.
in early April when it should be
Wow.
the rainiest season. Like it's a complete inversion of whatever you
It'll be
thought
rainy
the
for us here in Utah. Like, I
yeah.
guess it's
So
kind of normal, but
and I was trying so like literally today I got like a dozen different schools finally coming back to me. Like I asked them in October,
if they
I'm
wanted
like,
to.
hey, do you want eclipse glasses and stuff like that? I've got tons to give out. And I gave out almost all of them at a
Mhm.
certain point. And then all these like teachers are coming back to me like last minute, like, hey, can I have eclipse glasses? Like just today. Just today. I
Red
don't know
at
what happened
4:20 p.m.
today. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I can give you 50. You can share them, the kids.
There you go.
Yeah.
Have your
And
children
so
fight over the glasses.
yeah, make it like a little bit. If we need more selection pressure, okay,
Exactly. Yes.
let them fight it out.
Exactly.
Figure out the strong ones. Okay. So yeah, we have the eclipse coming up. It looks like we're going to get completely clouded out for this one. The next one in the U.S. is 2045.
All right. We'll catch that one.
Well, dude, I want to go to like Europe and South America for the next eclipses. Can you imagine where Argentina might be in the next like 5 years?
Damn. Who knows? It could be very much becoming like El Salvador for all we know.
Well, I mean, El Salvador is not perfect yet, so
Not
but
perfect, yeah, but they're also doing pretty well.
I mean, the crime is low, which is
Hmm.
the main thing, right? And then now you have the ability to build capital and everything like that. And I actually know a couple of people who like basically co-live between El Salvador and America at this point, where they're
Hmm.
like, oh yeah, we use Bitcoin and like we've got a cheap place in El Salvador and everything's cheap there and there's no crime. We don't have to worry about anything. And we're opening businesses and stuff like that. And then like in America, they're like, oh yeah, I try to Airbnb my place while I'm gone and I can't do it because the city declared illegal and people are squatting in my place and shit like
Oh,
that. And like,
perfect.
oh, my car got robbed. And it's like, oh, okay. So like
Okay.
Denver's the
America,
new
Denver's the
El
new,
Salvador.
yeah, the new third world country.
And like I didn't know this was a thing, or well, I kind of knew it was a thing, but like I was driving through Denver last week, and like the immigrants like are lined up like a football team on the side of the highways at stop signs
Mm-hmm.
or like major intersections and stuff like that, and they just start washing your car window, and they're like really pushy about money and all this stuff, and like that you're like, oh fuck, this wasn't
It's
a
like
thing.
old school New York City, like in the fucking 70s or 80s.
Yeah, it's fucking Taxi Driver New York all of a sudden,
Yeah. Shit.
and you can't leave anything anywhere. It's like people are gonna throw a brick through the window and just take shit.
Mhm. Here in Utah, we fucking shoot you for that shit, man. Well,
Yeah, I mean, normally you sort of could in Denver, but
it's yeah.
I don't fuck with Denver that much, so
Denver has
it was
fallen.
news to me. Denver's fallen. You can call it like New Caracas or something like that.
Caracas. Oh shit. Oh.
Oh, Nikki's here. Hey, hey, Nikki. Wait, oh no, I'm looking at the wrong stream.
Oh,
Fuck me.
it's all good. Anything else you want to cover?
Oh no. Nah.
Nah.
It's all right. It's all good.
It's all good. Well, folks, thank you for joining us for another episode. We hope you stay safe during the eclipse because I'm sure some people are about to be up to some fuck shit. But just keep a gun on you at all times.
Stay strapped.
Stay strapped or you'll get clapped. And as always, taxation is theft.